Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Hare Krishna. We are reading from Bhagavad-gita as it is by Bhakti-Vedanta Swami Prabhupada Ki Jai. And I would like to ask you, because since there is no particular verse that we should discuss, I would like to ask you to choose one number between 1 and 18. 17. Okay. And now please choose the number between 1 and 28. 15. Okay. So we are reading from chapter 17, the divisions of faith, verse 15. Anudvegakaram vakyam satyam priyahitam chayat svadhyaya bhyasanam chaiva vanmayam tapauchyate. Translation. Austerity of speech consists in speaking words that are truthful, pleasing, beneficial, and not agitating to others, and also in regularly reciting Vedic literature. Purport. One should not speak in such a way as to agitate the minds of others. Of course, when a teacher speaks, he can speak the truth for the instruction of his students, but such a teacher should not speak to those who are not his students if he will agitate their minds. This is penance as far as talking is concerned. Besides that, one should not talk nonsense. The process of speaking in spiritual circles is to say something upheld by the scriptures. One should at once quote from scriptural authority to back up what he's saying. At the same time, such talk should be very pleasurable to the ear. By such discussions, one may derive the highest benefit and elevate human society. There is a limitless stock of Vedic literature, and one should study this. This is called penance of speech. The translation of verse again. Austerity of speech consists in speaking words that are truthful, pleasing, beneficial, and not agitating to others, and also in regularly reciting Vedic literature. Hare Krishna. I'm very happy to be with all of you again. So today's verse is very, very interesting and important to understand because we live in Kali Yuga. As you all know, Kali Yuga is the age of quarrel and hypocrisy, and no one needs special proof that it is true because this quarrel and hypocrisy is all pervading practically in Kali Yuga. So everyone has experience, first-hand experience that this is so true. And here it is explained there are 3 types of austerity Lord Krishna explains. The first is austerity of body. One verse before this, in 17:14, Krishna explains the austerity of the body, and here he explains austerity of speech in 15, and in 16 he explains austerity of the mind. So this constitutes one topic which is extremely important for anyone who wants to achieve anything in this world, not just for those who want to achieve spiritual perfection. Even if we want to become something great in material, from material point of view, some great sportsman or great scientist, or great, I don't know, businessman, writer, whatever. We need to put so much effort in our goal, and this is, of course, includes austerity. No one can be Olympic champion if he's not extremely austere and disciplined. Yes. So, and spiritual perfection is so much higher achievement than Olympic gold medalist. To be Olympic gold medalist. Yes. Becoming a servant of Krishna is the highest perfection possible. So we should understand, in order to be able to control our speech, we should be able first to control our body. Therefore Krishna explains first the austerity of the body, and he says, Deva Dvija Guru Pragya Pujanam Shocham Arjavam Brahmacharyam Ahimsa Cha Shariram Tapa Uchyate. That we should first be very devoted to the Lord. Deva Dvija Guru Pragya Pujanam, that we should worship the Lord. This is the first requirement. If we don't become devotee, we cannot achieve anything in this world, actually. And this is explained in 9th chapter of Bhagavad-gita. Mogasha moga karmano moga jnana vichitasa rakshasim asurim chava prakritim mohinim shrita. Krishna says that very, very bluntly, very forcefully, that if one is not devotee, then everything is in vain. Whatever we do is in vain. Whatever knowledge we acquire is in vain. Whatever austerity we perform is in vain. Everything is useless, completely useless, because we take shelter of prakritim mohinim, of illusory energy. Yes, and therefore Krishna says that such a person is a rakshasa and asura. Rakshasim asurim cheva prakritim mohinim shritaha. Yes, and why he's rakshasa? Rakshasa is one who is drinking blood. And Krishna says, anyone who is not a devotee is a rakshasa. What do you think? Why Krishna uses such strong words? Yes.
Without service, we cannot have a nice relationship or nice association, nice motivation.
Yes, this is important aspect. But there is something deeper even. And this is, if we are not devotees, any relationship that we have in this world is just mutual exploitation. You understand? Yes. One exploits the other. And this mutual exploitation we see in a relationship between husband and wife, children and parents, teachers and students, even amongst friends. Everywhere there is some motive. If there is material consciousness, if one is not a devotee, then everything he performs is to some degree a business deal. And therefore Prahlad Maharaj says to Lord Narasimhadev in 7th canto Srimad Bhagavatam, please don't entice me with these boons, because when Narasimhadev appeared, he wanted to give boons to Prahlad. And Prahlad said, don't entice me, I'm just your servant. And this is enough for me, if I serve you. Because if I would ask any boon, that would be a Varnik mentality. Varnik means merchant, businessman. You said before. Yes, it's a business deal. So I serve and I expect something in return. And what is business deal? What does it mean? Business means usually I put some investment and I expect more back, isn't it? Otherwise, why would I do business if I don't get back little more than I invest? Or much more, usually, I expect. So, the problem is, if we are not devotees, any relationship, even with a relationship of a mother to a child, is a business deal. And therefore, this is a Rakshasa mentality. I want to suck your blood. I want to suck your energy to get more, to do something more. This is business mentality, means Rakshasa mentality. Yes. So if one is not a devotee who lives just contrary to this idea, devotee doesn't want to suck your energy to get something more, but he wants to give more than he has. He wants to serve. And therefore, Krishna says here that the austerity of the body is first to become a servant of the Lord. Because only if we are a servant of the Lord, consciously servant of the Lord, because everyone is servant of the Lord, knowingly or unknowingly. Even if one performs service just to get something in return, with this Rakshasa mentality, he also serves the Lord, because he serves the body and he's not the body. This is Lord's elements, so he's serving the Lord, but in wrong way, as Krishna explains also in 9th chapter of Bhagavad-gita. Ye pyanya devata bhakta yajante shraddhanvita dipamam eva kontaya yajante vidipurvakam. They worship only me, he says, but in the wrong way, avidipurvakam. It's wrong worship, and therefore they will achieve. They will not achieve me, but they will achieve their respective goals. Those who worship demigods, they will go to demigods. Those who worship demons, they will go to demons. To such living beings, those who worship ancestors, they will go to them, and so on. But those who worship me, they will come to me. Yes. So, first requirement to achieve any kind of goal of austerity, that we can devote ourselves to austerities, is to become a servant of Krishna. Yes. And this mission was brought by Srila Prabhupada, that we can understand that by our constitutional nature, everyone is a servant of Krishna. So we should train our consciousness, because in material conditioning, everyone was trained from time immemorial to become a Rakshasa. So we are trained Rakshasas. But when we come to this movement, we try to reprogram our mind. This is reprogramming process. We try to reprogram our mind from Rakshasa mentality to service mentality. Yes, this is extremely important. Otherwise, we'll stay on the level of Rakshasa. So this is first requirement. Deva Dvija. Then we should worship not just the Lord, but also those who are dear to the Lord, who are very dear to the Lord. And these are Brahmanas, those who are devoted to the Lord. of course, devotees are above brahmanas. So every devotee is even more dear to the Lord. Krishna explains in 7th chapter of Bhagavad-gita, Chaturvida bhajanti mam janaksakriti narjanar tojigyasarartati gyanicha bhartarashabha, that there are 4 kinds of people who turn to him. And one is in distress, one is in search of money, one is inquisitive, and the 4th one is jnani, one who has deep spiritual understanding. And he says, Udarak sarvayevati jnanitvatmaya mimatam, that all these are elevated human beings. But he says, jnani is as good as myself. But for a devotee, for Uddhava, for example, in 11th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, Lord Krishna says, he's more dear to me than even myself is dear to me. So he considers devotee more important than himself. Yes. So we can see how important it is to worship not just the Lord himself, but also his devotees and everyone who is especially dear to him. And these are also Dvijas, Brahmanas. Yes, Deva, Dvija, Guru, and Guru, of course, is our worshipable object. Guru is also non-different from Krishna. Sakshat Guru, Sakshat Haritva Nashta Master Shastra. All Shastras explain that Guru is non-different from the Lord. And not that just he's non-different from the Lord because the Lord reveals his Shakti and knowledge and love through Guru. But Guru is also, as also explained in Guru Ashtaka, he's the most intimate servant of Radha and Krishna. Just yesterday it was Radhashtami, and in this song Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur explains, yes, Nikunja Yuno Radhikeli Sijay, that Guru is the one who is very expert in serving Radha and Krishna in most intimate setting of Vrindavan. So, and we of course should always serve our Guru in serving Krishna. So we should also have this meditation that we serve our Guru, who is most dear servant of Radha and Krishna, in most intimate setting of Vrindavan. Yes, this is important meditation. So this is also austerity of the body, to worship such a Guru and to engage in such a mentality and meditation, which is then next austerity of the mind. Yes, we don't have so much time, so we'll go to today's verse. We'll not explain the previous verse so much, but we should understand. So we can look ourselves what is austerity of the body, because this is a requirement to have also austerity of speech. And austerity of speech, here Krishna explains that our words should be very pleasing. Because if we are not authority to someone, if we speak strongly with him, we will offend such a person. And then we will not attain anything. Even if we are beneficial, if our words are beneficial, here are many requirements, Krishna says. Anudvega karam vakyam. First, they should not disturb anyone, anudvega. Satyam, they should be truthful. Priyam, they should be very pleasing. And hitam, they should be beneficial. So, The problem is that in this world usually people speak gossip. And this is not disturbing. It's not truthful. And not beneficial. So doesn't fulfill any of this requirement of austerity of speech. But for people of this world, for ordinary materialists, gossip is extremely pleasing. One of the most pleasing things you can imagine in this world. Yes, because conditioned souls want to play the role of the master, of the Lord. And because we are not the Lord, we are not the master, we want to prove to everyone else that others are less qualified to be a master than myself. Therefore, I have to gossip about them, that everyone will know that we are better. Yes, and this is so much present in this world that I have read many years ago. There was some bishop from South America, Catholic bishop, and he said that this gossip shouldn't be counted as sin anymore, because in Catholic philosophy, this gossip is considered a sin. But he said that it shouldn't be counted as a sin, because everyone is gossiping. And since everyone is gossiping, it's natural, so shouldn't be considered a sin. But of course, his point is not austerity of speech, according to Prabhupada. Because Prabhupada, he says, in those who are spiritually advanced should advance whatever they say, should support by scripture. So if someone says gossip shouldn't be counted as a sin, then he should support Shastra to support his statement, isn't it? Yes. But he didn't support his statement with Shastra. So this was just his imagination, mental speculation. And whatever is mental speculation is not austerity of speech, is cheating, actually. So people will, because he's an authority, if he's a bishop, for people, he's authority. And so they will say, yes, he says, this gossip is not counted as a sin, so I can gossip freely without bad conscience. So, without bad feelings, I can gossip freely. Yes. So we should be very careful that our words are truthful, beneficial, and that we study Vedic scriptures. He says, here says, yes, Svadhyaya Bhyasanam Chaiva. Svadhyaya means study of scriptures. And this is interesting, is mentioned as a austerity of speech, to study Shastra. To study Shastra, yes. So this study is not something unnecessary. Prabhupada slept 2 hours a day, from 10 to midnight. And then he got up and translated for hours and hours books. And this he didn't translate for profit, to get some money from them, but to save us. So these books are meant for our benefit. So we should take his purpose seriously in our life. And we should study these treasures that he left us, that he gave us, that he put so much energy. According to his own words, these are his personal ecstasies. So if you want to associate with personal ecstasies of Srila Prabhupada, we should read his books every day, yes, regularly. So, but on the other hand, what Prabhupada also mentions here, it is very important if we are authority of someone, we should be very strong for their benefit. For example, in modern world, because modern world is upside down, nothing what is right is considered sacred in modern world. And it is explained in 18th chapter. This is because of rajas and tamas. For tamas it is characteristic that what is dharma is accepted as adharma. That's something wrong. And what is adharma is accepted as dharma. If it is adharmic, yes, this is right. And we can see in modern world it's like this. So our duty for our dependents is to be very strong. Father, for example, has strong responsibility for his children. And modern society doesn't support strong fathers. They teach boys to be feminine, and they teach girls to be masculine. Everything upside down. And so the boys are not strong anymore, and fathers are not strong anymore. And therefore the whole society is ruined. The whole society is ruined. Because here it is explained, if someone is our dependent, if we are authority to someone, it's our duty to teach them what is right and what is not right. Very forcefully. Yes, especially sons should be trained very forcefully in strong discipline. In strong discipline. Yes, otherwise they are spoiled. They are spoiled. So this is the duty of fathers. And there are so many destroyed families. And even those families who are together, still there is no fatherly authority. Yes. So it's extremely important. Yes. But others, it's interesting that we want to teach others usually. And we quarrel with others, because this is the characteristic for this age, to quarrel. Yes, but we shouldn't. If we are not authority to someone, then we shouldn't prove that we are right or anything like this. We are just servants. We should know that we are servants. We are servants of every living entity. Mamaivam shud jiva loki jiva bhutak sanatana. Krishna explains in 15th chapter of Bhagavata-gita. So we are eternally servants of Lord Krishna. And since, as Krishna explains, as I quoted this verse, every living entity is part and parcel. So we are actually servant of every living being. But of course, we don't serve to these deluded living entities who are not devoted to Lord Krishna according to their whims. We should serve them like doctors serve a patient. Patient is maybe crazy, but doctors doesn't serve according to desires of this crazy person, but serve this patient that the patient would be cured as quickly as possible, isn't it? So we should also serve not according to desires of deluded living entities who are not devotees, but that we help them to get cured as quickly as possible. As this is our service to those who are not devotees. Yes, and to those who are inimical, we serve them also by avoiding them carefully. And we can pray, of course, for them and give them prasadam if they accept prasadam. But if they don't, we can pray for them, but strictly avoid them. This is our service. Yes. Anudvegam. We shouldn't disturb anyone. Anudvegam. Karam bhakyam. Satyam. Our words should be truthful. So don't speak unnecessarily. And hitam. Beneficial. So don't speak unnecessarily. Here Prabhupada explains that this austerity speech is not to be silent. It's not mauna vrata. It is in one sense. It's mauna vrata. But mauna in the sense that we don't speak anything that is not about service to Lord. That we speak just to fulfill our urge to speech. Yes. Rupa Goswami mentions in Upadeshamrita Vacho Vegam as the first thing that should be controlled, actually. Vacho Vegam, Manasa Krodha Vegam. So this urge of speech is extremely strong. And if we don't control it, we don't really start our devotional service yet. So it's extremely important. Verse, you chose this verse today. Yes, so Krishna wanted to hear this explanation of this verse. It's extremely important, our speech, to control our speech, that we don't talk unnecessarily and we don't speak if it's not truthful and if it is not beneficial. And if it's not connected to the devotional service to Krishna, it's not beneficial. Not beneficial for us, not beneficial for others, not beneficial to anyone. Yes, so we shouldn't speak unnecessarily. And if it's not connected to devotional service. And svadhyaya abhyasanam cheva. We should study regularly, as we already explained. We should study Prabhupada's books with all our heart. Prabhupada said that we should, somewhere he said that we should read 5 hours a day. And somewhere else he said 3 hours a day. And his minimum standard was at least 1 hour a day. Yes. So we should take this seriously, his instruction, and we should read Prabhupada's books at least 1 hour a day. This is austerity of speech. And then if you will study Shastra like this, not just read that I have, it's 15 minutes, 45 minutes more. It's 23 minutes. No, not like this. We should absorb our consciousness. Prabhupada said that we should know Shastra like these lawyers know the law. If there is a court case, the lawyer comes to the court and presents to judge and to jury, how it says, yes, no, to judge and to to these people who also decide. In Slovenian it's called porota. I think it's called jury in English. And he presents the case. He says, in this law, paragraph this and this says this and this. Yes, and this in these previous cases, which are similar to this case, is the judgment was this and this and this. So he knows the law. Every statement he makes supports it with some statement from the law. So we should be the same trained in our Shastra. In this chapter, Krishna says like this and this and this. So whatever we say, we don't say according to our emotional disposition or some intellectual power, our own. But we support it. It's not my emotional statement. It's not my mental speculation. It's Krishna's words. And Prabhupada also says, people say that I'm speaking very strongly, but these are not my words. This is Krishna's words. And we just quoted one strong Krishna statement. He says that anyone who is not a devotee is a Rakshasa. He's blood-sucking demon. Yes. And these are maybe strong words, but it's not my words. It's Krishna's words. Yes. So we should know what Krishna is speaking. And we should not speak anything from our mind. But we should speak according to Shastra. Yes. This is very important. If we speak something that we think, that we feel, because this is very modern in society, that I think it is like this. I feel it is like this. But this is all cheating. Because then, what does it mean? I put myself as authority, that my feelings, my mental judgment is more important than Shastra. Yes. So I put myself in the position of the Lord, actually, again. So we should support everything with Shastric quotations and Shastra. Hare Krishna. Is there any question or comment or doubt?
May I ask
Yes.
why Krishna is blue?
Why Krishna is blue? Krishna is blue because this is very attractive color. When there is drought, everyone expecting clouds that come, that clouds will come. And when peacocks see the dark blue clouds approaching, they're mad with joy. And they dance and coo, like and they make their noises. They're cooing. Yes, and these clouds are imitation of Krishna's color. And when peacocks see Krishna, they take him as monsoon cloud, and they start to dance and coo again. So Krishna is unlimitedly beautiful with this deep blue color that showers us with showers, monsoon showers of mercy and love. Because clouds are carrying nourishing water for the parched land, which was parched by the scorching sun. And our life is like desert-like. It's completely dry, without any true love, without any true spiritual understanding. It's completely dried land, scorching by Maya, by strong rays of Maya. And then Krishna comes with his blue cloudish complexion and showers his mercy and love for every living entity. So we can again get full nourishment of our heart and bring fruits of love also in our heart. Therefore, Krishna's color is blue. Hare Krishna. Anything else? Is this okay? Yes.
About strongness of father. Generally, like I have experienced that father is too strong.
Too strong?
Yeah.
Yes, if he's not a devotee, he can be too strong. But in modern world, fathers, not fathers especially, but boys are brought up in feminine mentality. And they are very emotional. They're trained to be emotional. But boys, when they're men, when they're emotional, they cannot judge properly. Yes, and they're not. If someone is not a devotee, of course, as Krishna says, he's a Rakshasa. and Rakshasa can, of course, be. That doesn't mean if father is
Not emotional, but sentimental, maybe.
yes, this is connected. Sentimental.
Emotional that.
Sentimental means emotional without proper judgment. Yes. Fathers should be very strong with their children, but that doesn't mean that they beat children or anything like this. That they are without intelligence. That they're just angry. Anger doesn't mean to be strong. Understand the difference?
Yeah.
Yes, because many times if person is weak, then he wants to establish his authority by anger. But if we are angry, that means that we are weak, we are not strong really. And therefore, if mothers have to establish authority, they usually become hysterical because they are also weak. So anger, excessive anger, is a sign of weakness. It's not strongness. Understand the difference?
Yeah.
Yes. And this, I believe that you meant that the fathers are too angry and they can beat the child unnecessarily and so on. Yes. But this is the sign that they are not strong. Hare Krishna. Yes, please.
Thank you for your nice explanation. When we sing Jayarada Madhava, we sing Brajajana Ranjana. And it's very nice the explanation how these three verses, thank you very much for these three verses, how to have the this quality of Krishna to give pleasure to the Vrajabasis, Brajajanarani.
Yeah.
These three levels. Many years I don't read 17th chapter. I studied Bhagavad Gita in the beginning. First, I'm till 13th chapter. I study along with Prabhupada Bhagavad Gita. This is very nice explanation how Krishna give pleasure to the Vrajabasis with his body activities, with the speech and with the mind.
Yes. Yes, Krishna, as I explained, that devotees are more dear to Krishna than he is dear to himself. So he wants to please his devotees as far as he can. But finally he says, Napareham niravadya samujam sasvadu kritang vibhudayo shapiva yama bhajan durjar geha shinkara samvichya tatvah pratiyadu sadhana. I cannot repay you, he said to the gopis. I cannot repay you even in the lifetime of Brahma. And so let your devotion be your compensation. Because in 4th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says, Ye atam mam prapadante tam stateva bhajamaham. Jai Shri Guru Nitai ki jai. Nitai Gaur Premanande Hariribo. He says, Ye atam mam prapadante tam stateva bhajamaham. As you surrender, I will respond accordingly. But here, the love of Vrajavasis, he cannot reproach in the same manner, Krishna. For gopis, they went to the forest and they left their families, they left their babies, they left their mothers, they left their fathers, they left their sisters, they left their brothers. Everyone they left. They just went. And he says, I cannot leave my father and mother. I cannot leave my brother. So I cannot repay you in the same way. So let your bhakti, let your devotion, let your love be your compensation. So he's ever indebted to his devotee, because devotee gives more than Krishna can give us. And in this connection, it is very significant story of Sudama Vipra. Sudama Vipra was very poor. So much so that when he went to visit Lord Krishna in Dwaraka, his wife had to go to beg from the neighbors for some broken chips of rice, broken rice. And he brought this to Krishna. And then he didn't even give this to Krishna. Krishna snatched this broken rice from Sudama. But when Sudama came back, he had great palace and so on. What does this signify? Krishna couldn't give as much as he received from Sudama Vipra, because Sudama Vipra gave Krishna more than he had. He didn't have this rice. He had to borrow it. He gave to Krishna more than he had. But Krishna cannot give more than he has. You understand?
He has everything.
Yes, he has everything. He cannot give more than he has. So he is defeated by his devotee. Yes. So he gives everything he can give is that he gives his heart to the devotees. This is as much as he can give. Yes, so his Brajajana Ranjana. Yes, he wants to please his most dear devotees with all his heart, and he cannot give them more than his heart. Hare Krishna. I think I have to stop here. Thank you very much for your attention. Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Gaura Bhakta Vrinda ki jai, Nitai Gaur Pramanande. Please accept my humble obeisance.